Hey guys, welcome to today's video. I'm going to be doing an unboxing with you, and this was actually shot originally back in March 11th is when I did this unboxing, and I've been doing updates here and there since. And as I'm filming this today right now, it is October 4th. So we're going to be unboxing what was my #1 wishlist plant, and that is a Monstera Albo. And there were three main factors that I'll share with you really quick before we get going here when I was looking and first shopping for this plant, because I really was wanting to make sure that I picked out the right one and not just jump into something. I also wanted to wait for the right price. So I ended up ordering this on Etsy from Variegata 777. He had a really good Etsy shop. He had a really good selection at the time. I don't know what he has right now, but I will post his Etsy shop below in case you want to check it out. So when I was shopping for Monstera Albo, I was really taking my time and looking at, a variety of them. So when I'm looking at this plant, there's three main factors that I'm looking at. One is genetics. And so you're looking at the leaves, what the pattern looks like. Is it a sectoral type of variegation, more larger patches of variegation, or is it more of a marbling? I kind of wanted a combination of both, and so that's what I was looking at. So you know how you can have, pardon me, even though you can have a variety of plants, like all the same species, they all have their own individual genetics. So number one, genetics. Number two, the stem. So I'm looking at how much variegation that particular plant actually is carrying, like how much genetic mutation is in there for the variegation production. So that's why I was looking at the stem and really making sure that I found one that had balance. So not all white and not too much green, like a good balance between the two of them. And number three, roots, whether it was air layered or, water propagated or something with some aerial roots already started there. I wanted some sort of root action already started on it. So that way it wouldn't be just like a fresh cutting thrown into a box and sent through the mail. And there can be more risk with that. So one, genetics, what type of variegation does the stem produce? Number two, the stem, how much variegation is held in that plant? Number three, the roots, to give you a good start. Okay, and the last thing I want to mention before we get started is what type of cutting you're choosing really matters on, how fast the plant is going to be able to take off and grow. So you've got the top cuttings versus the mid cuttings. Now mid cuttings can be a little less expensive. Top cutting generally costs a little bit more. It's like a premium part of the plant, and it's already ready to grow because it has a lot of energy held in the top portion of the plant. But with a mid cutting, it takes a little longer for the plant to get established and really start growing, because it's going to take a lot of energy for the plant to produce basically a new plant from its axillary bud. And the axillary bud is found in the axil of the plant. So where the leaf petiole meets the stem, that kind of 45-degree angle, there's a node right there, and it has an axillary bud right in that little node area. And it's going to be producing a new plant from that bud. So it must be still viable. It cannot already be spent. And so as long as that is viable, that's where the new growth is going to be coming from. So that bud has to get activated, and then the new growth can start. So it does take some energy and it takes some extra time when growing a mid cutting versus a top cutting. But you can find mid cuttings a lot of times for a little bit less money. So there is a trade-off. Okay, we'll jump into the unboxing now, and then I'll be back and share with you guys if I thought it was actually worth it in the end, or if maybe it wasn't so worth it. I'll let you guys know as we go. I'm interested to see how he ships his plants. Oh, it's a little heat pack. Feel how, that stayed warm.
Really?
Yeah, so He did ship this out yesterday.
Because he's from the East Coast and it's colder there, right?
Yeah.
That's why I was saying you should order it now instead before it gets hot, because that definitely makes a difference.
He has it all taped down here. So I'm just going to cut the tape free.
Oh, so it's taped inside the box so it doesn't shift. That's a good idea. Yeah. And then bubble wrap on the bottom. Get that out of there.
Oh, he's got it taped inside there too. Okay, here we go. Oh, look how cute that is.
And you picked it out because you looked at...
Yeah, so I picked out the exact one on Etsy. And this is a top cutting. And he sells pretty much all top cuttings as far as I've seen. Okay, there we go.
Okay.
Now
so this is a paper towel, wetted?
Yeah,
is it damp?
Lightly damp paper towel. Just to keep the roots. Look at that, beautiful. Lovely.
All right, so what's the next step? You put it in a vase?
Yep, this is gonna go into water.
Nice.
Yeah. So I ordered this from Variegata 777 on Etsy. And that's all he sells is just albos. And he's always uploading new ones. They've got beautiful selection. And he does a lot of top cuttings. So you're getting the top cut of it. So the plant has a lot of energy, and he always has some roots on there. He has different sizes. This is just a little one. I didn't want to buy like a large plant because they get much more expensive very quickly. So I just got a little guy. And I like the pattern on the leaves. But mostly it's what's happening on the stem, because that's where the variegation comes from.
Are these mutations, kind of?
Yeah.
Uh-huh. Mm-hmm. Which in the plant world, I guess, when I was looking up the Dutch tulip thing, they were talking about the mutations were desirable traits.
Uh-huh.
And this is the vase you chose?
Well, it's all,
right
we
now.
have. Well, yeah, I just have jars. I only have one vase, and someone's already living in it. So,
right.
Yeah, I do want to, because these got to move. They can't be all up on my desk, because I have to be able to pot of plants and stuff up here. So they got to, I was going to say people got to move. So it either is going to go under this light on the shelf somewhere, or is it going to go over there on the glass shelves under the other light. So let's see if it was right here. I think I could go there fine for now. See how it feels about that. Hey guys, it's been 3 months since we got the Albo and did the unboxing, and this is what its roots look like now. Now it took like a couple of weeks before it really started to pick up speed on putting out the roots, but then once it got going, it really started putting out a lot of roots. And then this leaf right here is the newest leaf. I'm just now getting around to potting it up. I could have potted it up a while back, but I was busy doing other things. So we had the gym shows and stuff, so I got a little behind on taking care of the plants, but
Looks like you got out just in time.
yeah, I know. Look at that. So this is Ocean Forest mix from Fox Farm. So that's just a premium potting soil mix. I've got pumice here, charcoal, and then cocoa chips and fiber here. So we just want a nice airy mix. So that's the idea of adding the cocoa chips and fiber, the pumice. Those both produce more aeration in the soil and better drainage. I'm gonna see if I have any bark left. Let me see. And I just have a little bit left, so I'll just add a couple handfuls in there. So it just adds extra chunkiness to the soil. Just a nice, chunky, loose, well-draining mix. And I'm just gonna put a piece of window screen in the bottom to help keep the soil from escaping through the drainage hole. And look at that big old gnarly root there. That one is the newest root there. But this one, even just from being in the jar, it's already started to like curl around. But that's gonna be perfect. Even though the leaves are little right now.
You don't want to over...
Yeah, normally you wouldn't over pot it like into a pot that's too big, only because the main reason for that is if the roots have too much wet soil around them, it could cause root rot.
How do you determine how high to bring the soil?
Just to where the roots are covered. So like you could lift that up a little bit, but I got that big root right below the soil here.
The big one is
yeah,
so tall. Okay.
It's pretty high. So yeah, just, I just cover the roots, so that's all I do. Oh, one thing I didn't show you guys yet is worm casting. So I do add a little pinch of worm castings to the top of the soil. And right now I'm just waiting for more of my filtered water to finish filtering. So I'll just do a little bit of worm castings just to give it a little gentle feeding. Nothing too crazy with, I don't want to like over stress it out by trying to fertilize it right now. But a little bit of worm castings just worked into the top of the soil is the perfect amount of food for it right now. All right guys, I'm gonna voice over this part because I didn't realize my microphone battery stopped working during this. So I'm just watering in the plant, and I'm giving it a good amount of water this first time because the soil was pretty dry. But when I water, it's gonna be about once a week, and I'm not gonna totally drench the pot every time I water. I'm just gonna give it, a decent amount of water to where it maybe drips out a little bit through the bottom. but I'm not going to totally be drenching it every time I water because I've heard that these are sensitive to root rot. So I'm just going to take a little extra care and not totally soak the pot through every single time I water. Mostly because I know that I did make the soil a little bit more moisture retentive, and next time I pot it up, I will make the soil a little bit lighter, airier, and fluffier. Okay, it's been about 3 weeks since we potted this up, and I wanted to show you guys the new growth. So we've got this brand new leaf here, and that came out beautifully. It also has a brand new leaf coming out, which I couldn't believe it started putting out another leaf so quickly after it put out that one. So I can't wait to see what that one looks like. It's kind of exciting wondering what it's gonna turn out like. But I will let you guys know as soon as it opens up, and we'll see if it has a fenestration. Oh, and I have it on my desk here. So I have it about 2 feet away from my grow light here. So here, I'll turn this on so you can see. That's the Spider Farmer 2000 grow light. So that's how its setup has been so far since potting it up. One more thing I was going to mention was, as soon as we potted it up, like within a couple days, these leaves, they were more like together, they were more narrow, and they instantly started spreading and stretching out. Like they started like leaning and making room for the new leaves coming through, and I thought that was really interesting. These albos are so pretty though. I can't wait to see what that other leaf looks like. I will be back for another update as soon as that gets done unfurling, and we'll see what it looks like. Good morning, guys. I wanted to do a little update on the Monstera Albo and just kind of let you know how the growth is going and how the soil is and my thoughts on it so far. So the last time I updated you guys, it had this leaf, which was the newest leaf, and that had a leaf bump on it, which became this little baby here. So the first one that it put out after potting it up, it did not have any fenestration. And then the second one, it had 1 fenestration there. This is the most current one here. This has 2 fenestrations, so it's given us a little more with each leaf. Sorry, I cannot talk this morning. And then I have this little leaf coming here, and I can't wait to see what that one's gonna look like. And I did move it. So before I had it over on my desk over here, right under that light, the Spider Farmer grow light. I should specify the Spider Farmer 2000 grow light. Then this light that I have it under currently, which is also a Spider Farmer light, but that is a different one. So totally different lights. It was just an experiment to kind of change its position, and it is further from the light, but I wanted to see what it would do. I wanted to see if the growth slowed down. I wanted to see the differences between the 2 lights on this particular plant. So that's what I'm doing, is just kind of a little lighting experiment for it. So I'll tell you how I messed up so far. This plant, when I put it in this pot, I didn't put any kind of moss pole, stake, anything at all for it to start climbing on. I just thought, oh, it's such a tiny little baby, you know, with just these little lower leaves here. I just thought it's going to be a while. You know, I heard that they are very slow growers, so I thought it was going to be quite a while before it was going to be ready to start climbing. But no, the way that this thing is growing, it has been putting out these aerial roots here. It's already got another one on this side that has grown down into the soil. If I come over here, you'll be able to see better. So see, that one is already down in the soil. That one is looking for something to climb on. So yeah, you can see the way it's growing. It's just really looking for something. It's like growing and waiting to hit something is how I feel. Like it's looking for something to lean against so it can start going upwards. So now looking back, I would have put a pole in there straight away, like some sort of stake, you know, wood post or, you know, cocoa core pole or something for it, so it could have something to start leaning on right away. And that new leaf that's going to be unfurling, I can't wait to see what that one's going to look like, because this is the first leaf that's grown under this different lighting that I put it in. So that's the current update with the Monstera Albo and how it's doing. So far it is growing pretty nicely. It seems to like the soil. I was a little nervous at first because I thought, you know what, maybe I made it a little, like maybe I put a little too much potting soil in there. I think that's something I would change too. I would make it a little bit chunkier with maybe more pumice, more aeration, more cocoa chips, or more bark or something. It's a few days later from our last update. Today is September 18th as I'm filming this, and last time we updated was September 13th. So the leaf is slowly unfurling. So there it is, the newest one we're still waiting on. I'm also curious if this leaf is going to end up being the same size as the last one that it was putting out. So this plant, although it was a really good deal, it was still a few $100s, and I wasn't sure at first. Like for the first month of owning it, I was kind of second guessing, and I was like, was that really a good idea to spend that that much on a plant, and now I'm like, yes, it was. I'm very happy with this. It is such a gorgeous plant, and it's so exciting to wait for each new leaf that comes in. I don't know, maybe I'm just like really simple that I get that excited about a new leaf, but I cannot wait to see what each leaf looks like. So, all right guys, I'm gonna be back and I'll update you guys as soon as this leaf finishes unfurling and we actually get to see what it looks like. All right guys, the new leaf has unfurled and it is absolutely gorgeous. I love the look of the variegation on this one. It has some of the sectoral variegation, some of the marbling. I love the pattern of it. I've been checking the stem too as it's been growing, and it has already a new leaf bump happening in there, which is amazing. I can't believe how quick it's starting to grow now that it's, you know, really stable in the soil. I also put in a totem. It's literally just leaning, like it's sitting on top of the soil and the plant is leaning on it, and I have it leaning on my mirror because I was just really nervous about the plant. Like it really wanted to climb on something. So I had to get something started, but I will be repotting this as soon as possible. Oh, I also wanted to mention to you guys that moving the plant did affect the size of the growth. So it did affect the plant, although the variegation is still gorgeous. So that didn't change, but it did put out a smaller leaf. So this leaf is a little smaller compared to the two previous leaves when it was growing under my Spider Firmer 2000 light on my desk. That's when it was a little closer to the light though. So I did want to update you guys on that also. So going a little bit further away from your light source might give you smaller leaves, but you guys probably already knew that, but I thought I'd just share it with you anyway. So it's got 3 main aerial roots now. One growing into the soil there. I just kind of fed it back down into the soil. I think I already updated you guys on that one. And on this side, it has that one. I don't know if it had that at all last time I showed you guys. Maybe it had a little nub there, but that one is growing out nicely. There we go, if I can get it to focus. That's the update on the Monstera Albo. It's so funny looking at the little leaves that it came with originally, which was just these 3 little leaves here. This one, that one that's cut, and this one. It was just such a little baby. One thing I want to mention is about excess cutation. It's a good idea to wipe that away in the mornings when you come in or when you see the plant and you see like excess droplets of water on the leaves. I don't know if you can see that right there, but sometimes the leaves will have, you know, just their natural kind of shape to them, and they can end up kind of catching water and creating like a little puddle on the leaf or on the edge of the leaf, like right here. So that has like this little swoop in the leaf, and it just kind of held the cutation of the water droplets that fell there, and then it causes the variegation, the beautiful white variegation, to kind of brown out. So that's just something to keep in mind, is wiping that excess cutation or water droplets away in the morning if you see that, and also putting it in a light chunky airy mix. So when I go to repot this, I'm definitely going to be putting it into an even chunkier mix because I made this a little more moisture retentive than I would like. So anyway, just wanted to share that. Definitely try to wipe away the excess cutation or water droplets to avoid browning out your variegation. All right guys, so that's my experience purchasing the Monstera Albo, and was it worth it? Definitely. To me, it was. I can definitely say that it was so worth it, and I'm so glad that I did it because it was a plant that I had wanted for a long time, and it was only the price that was holding me back from getting it. So what I did was, instead of, you know, going out to Lowe's or Home Depot or, you know, looking at common plants or purchasing common plants that were like $10 or $20, I just stopped and I just saved my money, and I didn't purchase any plants for quite a while, and I just waited. You know, I just put that money aside. So instead of getting like a bunch of common plants, I just saved up and just got the one plant that was at the top of my wish list that I really, really wanted. And I'm really glad that I did it that way. And I've been doing that for other plants too. Like I allow myself a little bit of a budget every month for plants, but I will just save that budget and just roll it over each month to get my wish list plant. So I just want to share that when it comes to getting wish list plants, if you just hold off on getting any other plants, you know, just save up for the one plant that you really want instead of like the 10, you know, nice plants that you like. Save up for the one that you really, really love, you know? That plant alone has just brought me so much joy. Like each time it's forming a new leaf, it's just really exciting. I can't wait to see what it's gonna look like, and every leaf is just gorgeous. I feel like it's giving you like a gift every time it puts out a beautiful new leaf, and it's just really exciting because you never know what it's gonna look like, so it's always a surprise. I'm gonna be repotting this too, but I didn't want to squeeze that into this video. I'll just have to make that a separate video, so I will let you guys go for now. Thank you so much for watching. It looks like it's gonna rain, so I'm gonna go put my buckets out because I wanna go catch rainwater for the plants. All right guys, I love you, have an awesome day, and I will see you in the next video. Bye.